think. Here we go. Oh, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Great Bricks. Messy Monday, and we're glad that you're here. Magnus is here with us today. It's been a while since Magnus has been here. Gary Mullane is here from Ireland. Hello, Gary. Good to have you here. Always an honor to have you with us across the pond. How are you guys doing this evening?
It's Messy Monday.
It is Messy Monday.
I just spent a whole bunch of money on Lego.
Gosh, it'd be great if we had a Lego show to talk about that. Oh wait, here we are.
Matthew, sorry I wasn't able to meet up with you today.
It's okay. I had Michael all to myself because I was like the only person there for double VIP. I thought there might be more people, but no, there wasn't. I was the only one. And they were very well stocked, so I could buy almost everything that I wanted. And I bought a couple other things off Shop Lego because I got the Lantern Festival from my Bricklink store because I think in the long run that's going to prove to be a very popular set. And I ordered something else from the Vader's Castle, which hasn't been in retail stores for a while, but it's still online. I ordered that from my Bricklink store. And I got all the large things for my Bricklink store. So I have 30,000 VIP points this time.
Is Santa's sleigh on sale yet, or is that still not on sale yet?
It's for sale, but I don't think it's on sale.
Yeah,
you can
buy it.
Yeah,
okay. It was on the shelf at the store, and you got double points if you buy it this week. So
yeah,
all right.
So I'm going to have to pop in the store because I know that there are the new BAM pieces are showing up. So I want to stop and get some of those. But I'm tempted to just wait on because most of the things I want to get are like under 100. So I'm thinking of waiting to get most of those on the 30th for AFOL Day instead. So
I had a separate list of a couple of things I wanted to get from my store. Like I want to get the Shang-Chi Dragon set for my store because I think that's a set that people are going to miss now. And then like a year or two later, people are going to go, wait, I wanted that dragon. So I'm going to buy a couple from my Bricklink store.
Matthew, say it with me. Shang.
Shang.
There was a joke in the movie. Your name was Sean, and now it's Shang. There was a whole joke about it.
Yes, that was written. That was clearly written for the non-Mandarin speakers who are watching the film. But speaking of Mr. Mark Sandlin, this is now available in our Atlanta area. So if you want the mariachi skeleton guys, you head on over. So Mr. Sandlin asked me to grab a couple for him, so I did.
Yeah, one of those is going to my coworker who is from Mexico City, and he will absolutely love it.
I was wondering why you were. I didn't know if you were doing like an undead or a Halloween Three Amigos type thing or something like that.
Well, I mean, they're really fun, and I wanted to have one for myself, but one of them is going to my coworker, and then I'll have an extra one to, I don't know.
Always good to have. Always good to have.
I have a question for Gary Mullane.
In here, sorry.
He can answer in the chat if he wants to, but I know, at least in America, there's an idiom that says, like, people say top of the morning, and I don't know if that's an English thing or an Irish thing, but at night, do people say, like, bottom of the evening, or is that just a top of the morning thing? I want to know, so. Actually, Magnus
it definitely sounds like almost...
Magnus could probably answer that. He's been a resident of Great Britain. So.
I don't think I've heard it on top of the morning until I came to the States.
So it's an American stereotype about English, the British Isles or something. Okay.
Or maybe they say it there and I just was oblivious. I'm oblivious to a lot of things.
I mean, maybe it's an Irish thing and that's why English people don't say it. I don't know.
It's entirely possible. I
always thought it was an Irish thing.
I probably just offended all of our viewers from the Great British Isles.
All maybe one of them if
all one of them. All Gary Mullane of
if
them.
Gary's still here. Although it'd be fun to think of Gary as in a pub, all by himself, kind of watching us goobers on his phone.
Gary, do people really say cheerio, pip pip, or is that just an American?
Wait a second, is Gary from Ireland or is he from Northern Ireland?
I thought he's from Ireland.
If he's from Ireland, that's not like Great Britain, though. It's a different country.
And it'd be like asking a Canadian about, fried chicken or something like that.
I'm sure Canadians know about all of America's evil habits.
We have Kentucky Fried Chicken. Is that
Well,
close
let's
enough?
ask one. Here we go. We have one. He's
We have
actually
Kentucky Fried
building. Look
Chicken.
at him. What's up, man?
Not much. I just realized the camera can't actually see what I'm building.
Those hands are enormous.
They are. Anyway.
And
Down,
it's got to be the lighting in your basement, because the yellow and the red look like magenta and light bright yellow.
Yeah, it looks like pale yellow bricks.
This is actually my dining room because my basement is still unusable until tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, that's right, due to the floodage.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
Well, it's dry now, but I'm not moving stuff down until the pipe's been fixed, which is happening tomorrow. So finally.
If only
I mean, you
they-
had this opportunity to extend the "I'm building a pool" thing. Like you could have just said, "I'm extending the pool into my basement," and
Yeah, it's an indoor pool now. Yeah, and it's got a building area.
they're metric colors.
They're
Did you say after?
Not so much
Those
that
are
they're-
Canadian
they're-
colors.
Yeah, they just seems like he got the pastel batch versus like the regular Lego color.
Whatever, dude. Dana, you keep sending us pictures of the bag of puke colored bricks you get all the time. So don't be.
Well, that's just it. It's like I have more perception or more visibility to the puke of colors, and I was wondering, is Jeff using those puke colors?
I got you.
It's toony yellow and toony red.
Exactly.
I was gonna say they look okay to me, but
That's amazing looking, by the way, what you're building there. That's massive. That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a camera to look at it. I've basically been just building platforms today. You can see kind of down
How
there.
big is that thing going to be when it's finished? Like in terms of like how many square feet or whatever it's going to be?
Are you sick yet?
Yes.
Square feet, don't know. Well, 7. I think it's about 7 by 7.5 feet. I think. I'm gonna end up buying 4 or buying 5 or 6 more. Like I'm basically gonna have an 8 foot by 8 foot set of tables to go under it that are like half height. And then I'll try and build it out to that, I guess.
That's just
Wow.
awesome. Now
And you're bringing that.
this-
You're bringing
bringing
that
this
to
to-
Alabama, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Assuming they
Okay.
let me cross the border. With
If
the
not,
trailer.
this will have been all for nothing.
Okay.
Well, if not, then this will be at the next event that I am actually driving to, which I guess would be, I don't know. I was debating Chicago next year, but we'll see what happens.
I would so like to go to Chicago.
If you need help getting into Alabama, make sure you make your barbecue sauce with mayonnaise. They will let you in the state. So.
Yeah, but he's first got to get across into like either Minnesota or Upper Michigan or something.
Wait.
Detroit, actually, Buffalo is where I'm going through.
You think?
You're coming through the east side.
Well, I live on the east side. If I were to go in through Minnesota, I'd have to drive like 16 hours up to Minnesota, to the border of Minnesota. So,
All
Dana,
right.
I'm going to revoke your Great Lakes card. You don't know where to
thank you. Please do.
My Canadian geography is subpar. I will admit that.
Look, if he doesn't roll up in the McKenzie Brothers van from Strange Brew, I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
Well, and also Matthew unironically has a flag with the Great Lakes on it, so
He does.
really it just
I
looks
admire-
like a blue flag with bird poop.
It does.
I have a sticker on the back of my car that's also the white of the water of the Great Lakes. And one of my friends from Buffalo was like, "What is that on your car?" And I was like, "Look at that." He goes, "Oh, it's the Great Lakes."
I recognize it. I just still think it looks like somebody tried to weather the back of your car or something. Like that.
None of us have like a decal of Lake Allatoona on our cars or something. I mean, like,
Luther.
Wait, doesn't Chris have a Jekyll Island thing on the back of his car or something?
he's probably got a tattoo.
AI. It doesn't have the shape of a kidney on the back of my car.
Chris has a tattoo of Jekyll on his back. It's
That makes sense. Says you are here.
Only Mark has seen it.
well, you know, we've been to many cons.
I was gonna say I've roomed with Chris. I've seen it, but it was.
Oh, please don't let a deacon be watching right now. Anyway, so Let me just go through. Gary Mullane, we've mentioned, is here. Brian Anderson is here. Seth Burian, Seth is here. Will Hafner is here in the chat. Thank y'all for being here. Stever is here in the chat. Andrew Sada is here. Good to have y'all here. Hope we didn't miss anybody. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. It is Messy Monday. We're just goofing around. There's only one of us actually putting bricks together, so we could just turn it over to him. But Jeff, tell us about, for our viewers here, your show, when it is on, and wait, which one was that?
My show's on Wednesday nights on my channel, VW Bricks, where we chat about the what's going on. We usually have a topic and talk about the news for the week, things like that.
Cool. So wait, yeah, and you actually had a really interesting one, and I thought we might throw that out there just for yakking on it. Was, why do people hate certain things so bad? Was that right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we didn't have much input from the crowd that day, but I think all of us actually liked the games.
You could have had Mark Harrison on that episode.
Well, and I think that's what actually kind of spawned it too, because next one nights we talked about that, and obviously Chima, because everybody hates Chima. But
I like a bowl of Chima chunks with my almond milk.
Oh, jeez.
Jeff, this is where we are in our show. We now have to steal topics from you because we're getting hard up for topics.
That's right.
Oh, well, see, I was going to steal a topic from you guys, but you guys are always the day after me, so it never helps.
Yeah.
Well, we're sending your Shatner, your Canadian brother Shatner, up into space sometime soon. So we figured we would just, give back. But anyway, all right. So let's talk about that though. What theme do you absolutely hate? I mean, I would say Chima, but I actually liked the first season of Chima. It was pretty interesting in the first run, and then like Exoforce, they got really crappy and just technical, and it was crappy. So.
Yeah, I was the same for Chima. I mean, my kids watched it and loved it, so I enjoyed it too. I like the Nexo Knights. I like the idea, the premise they had for them. And I mean, we are also saying in system, so like Bionicle, Jackstone is in system, I guess technically, but we were ignoring the ones that were Bionicle and Galador stuff. The only things I really didn't like was the later space ones, like back in the early 90s.
Like Insectoids and...
Insectoids I was on the fence about, but the robot one, the one with the big red, black, and...
Yeah.
You're talking about Spirius, or are you talking about RoboForce?
RoboForce. I don't know, something like that one I didn't really like.
Which was like 4 sets anyway.
Yeah.
As long as you don't say Galaxy Squad, we can remain friends.
No, I like Galaxy Squad. I don't own a lot of Galaxy Squad, but I did like them.
I don't own enough Galaxy Squad. That's all I'm saying.
That's a better way to say it.
I did not like the Life on Mars, any of the Life on Mars attempts, any of them. None of them.
See, I did because Star Wars got me back into Lego, and Life on Mars came out a year or so afterwards, if not the same year, and I wanted more space stuff, so I bought them because that was space. And I enjoyed them, and also like Sand Green came from Life on Mars, not to mention Sand Red, Blue, and Purple.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it wasn't for those themes, we wouldn't have had, we wouldn't have those colors necessarily.
And there's a lot of Sand Blue that was in, what was it? It was like Extreme Island or something like that? Do you guys know that?
Yeah.
Will seems to have a small opinion about things.
Yeah, but Will also likes Bionicle and Jax and
But let's be honest, Sand Red was like that slight tease of a thing that you really want, and all you got was a tease, and then like it went away. It's horrible. I've got just enough Sand Red to go, gee, if only I had this in a 1x2 brick, I could do something with it, but I don't.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the same thing with like Sand Blue. Is like it's got some basic pieces, but like as far as accessories and some fun stuff, there's not enough of it.
But Sand Blue is still active at least. Oh, Matt just
put that anywhere, Matthew. But yeah, our original teal, we got just a tiny few little bits of the.
Yeah, we had that really cool vent print from Rock Raiders on that teal slope, but they didn't. But it just sticks out like a sore thumb if you ever try to use it. So it's in a drawer of crappy printed parts over there, and I've never used them. But on the flip side of that, we got the cool caution stripe with some weathering on it or whatever. That was a cool piece, and I use that all the time.
Yeah.
Have we got Matthew back in here?
This is the sand blue. Look at all the sand blue. Look at that. There's lots of
it's basic bricks. I need some fun pieces.
Okay, let me get those.
How about sand red? Did you end up making something for sand red?
They don't make enough. There's no minifigure. There's not enough minifigure parts to combine to make a sand red figure.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Fair enough. I wasn't sure.
So I don't know what exactly was going on my Lego table, but I came down and there's a Tyrannosaurus and a Ninjago dragon and a small Paul with a machine gun. So something was happening down.
Story I want to know more about.
That's an amazing day.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like there was a pretty great day going on down here while I was working, but
it would have been better if there was like this death field of minifig parts in red 1x1s all over the thing. That would have been amazing. So.
Yeah, and that would have definitely been a call from school or his mother.
There are some minifig parts and things and a big pile of Brick Arms guns. And to top it all off, I found my Technic Fig dabbing. So
That's awesome.
I'm kind of disappointed they stopped making those Technic Figs.
yeah, it was a fun figure. I mean, they're really posable and fun to play with, and you could put stuff on their legs because they got the Technic handles.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of them that are broken now, though? Like, I've got a bunch that have a
I
broken
only have
arm.
one. I have this one, the snow guy that came with the little snowmobile, and that's it.
'Cause I've got a lot
So
of them that have the arm
Speaking of
broken,
themes
right?
that we just hate, pretty much everything made out of Technic that isn't the guts to a Star Wars ship, I just can't do. Like all these Technic cars they're rolling out, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm not buying them for my Bricklink store because if they don't sell, I don't want those parts.
The thing that I don't like about Technic cars is back in my day and Chris's day, your day, it was called Expert Builder, and it was just the frame of a car where you could see all of the mechanical stuff, and that was the point, was the mechanical stuff. And now it's like a car with the big plastic weird Technic panels that doesn't really quite look like the car it's supposed to be. And then it's like the big Technic panel things are hard to use.
But I actually like that because I never liked the fact that Technic was like, it looked like the frame of a car without the walls, and now they actually have the walls. But I'm not going to pretend that I'm $200.
Or you could go buy the magnificent Porsche 911 set and just leave all the Technic crap out.
Agreed. Well, for me, when I look at a Technic car, it's all smooth until there's a rough part. It's like where they got hit by the SUV in the parking lot or something, because the panels don't match up right, and then it's.
Or it looks like your son drove it.
No. That would be it's still in one piece. They would be in 2 or 3 pieces if there was my son. It would be great if all of a sudden my son popped over in the side chat and went, "Hey, that's not funny." Oh wow, you had gorillas. I mean, you had alligators too. That's awesome.
Yeah. The albino alligator was hanging out over here.
If you want to have a Lego machine gun, you're going to get one of these things.
There's zombies. There's. I don't know where shark.
Sounds like you need to award Small Paul a medal for keeping the rest of the house safe while you were at work, because it sounds like it was quite an epic battle to protect the existence.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Robo Small Paul. He, I don't know where he ended up.
He fell.
Oh, I found Robo Small Paul's headless body, so I don't know what happened.
No.
Otherwise, I don't know where he went.
He's in the cloud.
He lost his head.
Yeah, yes. Because we were talking about it in the car when I picked up Paul on Thursday. I said, Robo Small Paul has hacked the Titan mech, and he was like, well, I'll destroy Robo Small Paul with my Robo Dragon and whatever. And I said, but what if he just uploads himself to the internet like Ultron? And then he's like, what? You can't do that.
It's been done.
Because, we were watching What If, with the big Ultron thing. And so that was
I got to use What If in my classroom today. It was awesome.
Nice.
Really?
Are you not going to tell us what you said?
No, we were covering probability and that the possibility that some things happen by chance. And I said, humans are kind of hardwired not to see chance or to say, I just got lucky that day or something. And I said, but if anybody's watching the Marvel What If, there's this whole scenario, like what if things were just slightly different at crucial moments and there's a whole other multiverse that results? And about half the class was like, yeah.
You were the hip professor today.
I tried.
Like, what if today with Thanksgiving?
Happy
We'd be having
Thanksgiving,
turkey and pie.
Canadians.
That would be
It
wrong.
was Saturday instead of Monday.
Thanksgiving's not before Halloween. That would just be wrong.
No,
We
that's
should
perfectly
adopt.
right.
We should adopt Canadian Thanksgiving because it happens at a bad time during the semester. Our American.
You don't eat all the food before the harvest. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, for us, the harvest is already happening now because we're northern.
If we adopted Canadian Thanksgiving, it would have been 80 degrees on Thanksgiving down here.
There you go.
It's probably still going to be 80 degrees on Thanksgiving, so that doesn't.
Probably going to be. It's probably.
Although this weekend it's supposed to be like 70 and 50 like Saturday, which is really nice. So
That would be cool.
Those numbers make no sense.
that's midsummer for you guys, right?
70s and 80s would be like the end of the world for us.
Oh, you and your metrics.
Yeah, 30, high 30s is the highest we ever get.
In Celsius, where 2 degrees is a big deal.
It is.
The temperature dropped 2 degrees in an hour. Okay, whatever.
I mean, it makes sense to me that like 0 degrees would be where water freezes. That just
Exactly.
makes
And
plenty of
it
logical
boils at
sense.
100.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think it would be better if it was 0 to 200, though. Like that would be, then it would match what I already used.
So okay, here we go. If it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit, what is it in Canada?
90 Fahrenheit.
Well, if it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit here, what is the Celsius conversion on that?
Hold on.
It's still
The
going to be
icebergs
in
are
Canada,
melting.
whatever it is here.
32.2.
There's mass.
All right, 32. Okay,
Yeah.
and now if 32.2. Now if it is, so it's 90 degrees. We're sweating our rear ends off. If it goes to 80 degrees, what is that in Canadian?
80 is about 25. Let me just verify that. 80 is 26.
26. Okay, I mean we're talking 80 and 9. I mean there's a big span in that we know, how many, if we're wearing flip flops or if we're wearing, there's a whole lot of degrees we can judge the weather on. You went like 4 degrees between the two of those,
6.
and that's just not enough to tell me how hot
That
or
was
cold
actually
it
6
is. I
degrees.
need a span.
But 26 is still pretty warm for us. Like 26 is a good, like not a super hot summer day, but a good summer day, right? I mean, when we get to 70, that's room temperature, right? So
And you put out the pool when it's 2, right?
we put out the pool when, well, I mean, you can start swimming when it's 70 degrees out or whatever, Fahrenheit, but 20 degrees
Fahrenheit.
Celsius.
Again, see, look at it. He's flipping back between systems here. It's
I know 70 is room temperature. I know that much. And I know 32 is freezing for you guys because you guys are weird. But beyond that, I don't know the numbers that well. And I know 60 miles is 100 kilometers an hour.
Well, when you have 18 feet of snow in your pool, you just look down here while we're outside sweating, and we'll
Well, when I have 18 centimeters of snow in my pool, which isn't actually up anymore,
water meters. I don't know what that is.
I'll be in Alabama looking at you guys wearing shorts and while you're all wearing long pants and parkas.
Look, we only use metric when it comes to bullets and drugs. Okay, you get a kilo, and then you get a 35 millimeter. I mean, that's America. That's all we know.
Well, actually, that 35 millimeter was film. It's usually a 9 millimeter when it's a gun.
Whatever, 220, 221, whatever it takes. So.
220.
We're gonna take away your good old boy card.
Wait, you guys have 18 gauge shotguns. That's Imperial.
That's true.
So it's probably only guns that are manufactured outside of the states that are.
Yeah, I've never understood the guns thing because like people talk about like 5.56 and 7.62, but then they talk about like 50 cal machine guns instead of 12.7. I don't. It's not consistent.
I think Brom has the definitive answer to this whole argument. 0 is too cold, and 100 is too hot.
Well, we get below 0, so what does that make that?
That's way too cold. Although we get, I mean, up north, we get.
No.
I mean, when I lived in the western suburbs of Chicago, when it started getting like negative 12 in December, that's when we decided to move back to Georgia.
15 degrees is cold here. So you get down to teens, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some folks added into our chat here. Marvel Kid is here. Brahm is here. I saw that. Kamakai Kid is here.
Kamakai Ken. Don't confuse the two.
Oh, sorry.
Have you seen the optometrist lately?
Jeff Van Winden. I need to. Let's see. I think that was it. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us and everything. So we're just hanging out and watching one man build while we all just, sit here. Whoa.
I've been building all day and sorting.
What was?
Jeff, you
what's the name of that movie? Never mind. There's the movie with David Hasselhoff, and they've got the dinosaurs and the Nazis, and
Kung Fury.
There we go. I knew.
He's like, this is the Viking Age, and that explains the laser raptors.
Laser raptors. Which I'm a fan of the laser raptors. I got my laser raptor here at all times, just in case.
I have a question for Jeff. If we want to look at pictures, like work in progress pictures of your castle, where's the best way to see those?
On Instagram.
Instagram.
VW Bricks.
VW Bricks on Instagram. All right.
Yeah, let me just verify that it's VW Bricks.
Somebody explain to Magnus what Instagram is.
I'm on Instagram. I just haven't posted there because apparently you need a smartphone or something.
Actually, go under Jeff Van Winden, all one word.
That's right. That's right. That's such a great memory. Magnus, you're probably the smartest guy, one of the smartest guys I know, top 10 probably. You do not own a modern cell phone, correct?
That's true. I have to stay smart enough, just the brain I have. This is the phone I have.
Is it a flip phone? Please tell me it's yes.
Yeah. But it's
oh my gosh.
It's a phone that was I got this phone a couple of months ago. 2013 was apparently not going to be not going to work with some new cell phone system they have, so they sent me this instead for free. But this is a piece of shit compared to that phone. I missed my 2013 phone. This is I don't like this one.
Well, it's awesome when I heard that when you flipped it, seismometers around you kind of moved for a second when you flipped that thing. You're frozen, by the way, Magnus, while we're poking fun at you.
That's his webcam from 2014. Just kidding, of course, Magnus.
This is a great shot.
You're probably not far off.
Magnus, if you're still with us, I'll throw a link to my Instagram on our private chat.
I think I found you on Instagram.
It's Jeff Van Winden. I thought it was VW Bricks.
Yeah, I'm following you here.
Jude in the house.
Jude,
Yes.
Hey man, what's up?
Ben Winden's posts are all about Lego now. We've moved past the I'm setting up pool photos.
This is true. Both him and Torah Nerd have changed back to other things beside the pool.
That's because our pools are no longer standing. They've taken them down.
Yeah, y'all had what, 3 weeks? Y'all had those things up where it was warm enough, and then
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, they go up
where
in
are
about
the-
May
Where are the I'm deconstructing the pool photos? How come that never gets real?
because that takes about a day and a half. You drain the pool, you take it down. It takes you don't have to worry
It's
about how level the
anticlimactic.
pool is at that point.
Yeah, very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You mean you don't get your drunk uncle to like cannonball into the pool until it pops apart and then you throw it out? That's what happens in America.
I thought you guys didn't have pools. Oh, because your drunk uncles have broken them all.
That's right.
So I went to school in Denver, and my fraternity house, there was they decided to set up in the back parking lot near the house, not like further out in the parking lot, but near the house. I'd say it had to be at least a good 15 feet in diameter of one of those above ground pools, very similar to our Canadian pool friends. And this was like for a Rush event or something. I forget what it was. I think it might have been to entice sorority girls to come over in bikinis or whatever. But it was close enough to the house that you could go out one of the second floor windows onto like the awning over it or near it. And one of our larger fraternity brothers decided that he was going to jump off of it and do a big giant cannonball. Well, the structure, stability of the pool itself was not designed for that type of bodied water displacement. And it didn't just cause water to go over the top of the pool. It caused the whole pool to just collapse.
It broke the pool?
So now you have water going everywhere next to the fraternity house, which happened to have a basement and happened to have windows near this wall that went into our chapter room.
Nice.
6 inches of water easily. It was horrendous.
And that's why I had to take my pool down and put it back up, because if I had left it slanting the way it was, I would have had to split down the side because there's too much weight on that one side. So
the structural integrity of that wall would have crumbled like a...
Yeah, but think of the skating rink you would have had.
Well, if we had left it up for longer, we probably would have had a skating rink. That's for sure. Although a lot of people want to assume that it's cold in Denver, it's not. It's not. I mean, granted, we would get snow. I mean, it'd be 70 degrees on Sunday, and then we'd have 3 feet of snow on Monday. I missed that weather. I thought that was so much fun. But usually by Friday, that 3 feet of snow is gone. I mean, I came home because I was on semesters instead of quarters, and so I got home like about a month after all of my friends from college freshman year, and they're like, "Dude, why are you home so late?" I'm like, "Well, I was still at school." Like, "Yeah, but you got a tan." I'm like, "I would walk to class." It's sunny in Denver.
My parents moved out there, and I was asking them at first, like, how was it? And they said, it gets cold in the winter, but it's like bright and sunny. It's not overcast like the Midwest.
Yeah.
It's a lot less depressing when it's 20 degrees out than it is in Michigan.
Absolutely. And you know what? So small side note to the side note. I actually went into, and I didn't buy anything because I was in college and I was poor, but I actually went into the Cherry Street or Cherry Hills Mall where the Lego Discovery Center is, back before Hinkle even worked there. So that was like moons ago.
Pre-Hinkle?
Pre-Hinkle. And yes, it is much closer to the sun. That's for sure. Are we just enamored by Jeff throwing down bricks, basically?
Yes, I am.
Well, before Jeff came on, we were debating how fast he builds, and now we can actually see it happen.
It's like a blur.
I'm having to pick the pieces, so if I didn't have to do that, it'd be a lot quicker, probably.
And I'm assuming this is a repeatable process that you've used before, so it's not like you're having to figure it out on the fly. You've used the same technique.
Yeah, I mean this lattice has been around since the early days of Lugnet.
If Jeff and Janie make Lego Masters Canada as a team, I'm gonna put my money on them for the volume contest.
Yes.
Well, again, as long as the bricks are there.
I mean, that's the benefit of Lego Masters is that you've got people running to go get bricks. It's there.
Well, I'm the one running to go get bricks if I'm building on Lego Masters.
Well, no, to a degree, yes, and to a degree, no. I mean, if you run out of what's right there, you can call and all of a sudden
it gets refilled.
You know, it's not like you got a phone in a Bricklink order.
Yeah, or drive to Hamilton to pick up an order from Dave Cowdice, or to pick up
Exactly.
tubs of bulk from Dave.
Hey, Dave, can you hook a brother up?
How far do you
Pretty
live from
much.
Dave?
I called my dealer.
Dave the dealer. How far is Dave from you?
About an hour 45 or so.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up taking me 2 or 3 hours because I hit 3 Lego stores on the way.
Double win.
Well, because I ended up getting some plates, Pick a Brick, at one of the stores, and I bought the Reindeer Battle Pack as well this weekend because they had it there.
Now we
Actually, all
know
three
that
stores I
Dave.
went to had that. Sorry.
We know that Dave is a classic space guy. Did you have to pry the light gray bricks out of his cold dead hands?
I didn't get light gray.
Oh, he wouldn't share those. I see.
No, I just got basic colors. Well, in green. But that's what I needed. I mean, I wouldn't put light gray into underneath the castle. That would be a crime.
True.
Because light gray is the castle.
Crimes against the brick.
Yeah.
That should be another topic.
So how much space is there going to be in the area between the walls? Yeah.
Oh, like in the pathways?
Yeah.
Well, there's usually 2 sets of buildings. One's like on either side of the wall. One's about 8 wide, one's 6, and then there's about 12 studs between, give or take. On the angles, it's a little off, but
8 plus 12 plus 6, that's what, 26 or something? No, 20.
8 plus 6 plus 12. So,
is that in metric or imperial?
I was going to say.
There's about 26 studs.
26, yeah, about 26.
Okay. And you have buildings on both sides of the path, up against both walls.
Yeah, I do. Here, I can give you a better aerial. Some of it's taken down, but let me just see if I can raise this up a bit and change the angle.
Nice.
Yeah, it's hard to see. I'm trying to get
getting almost a sort of Minas Tirith type feel from it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me throw that. Let me pop away my other camera here. There. Yeah, so it comes around into the spiral there, and it'll come up, and then up in this white area here will be the next round, the next level of walls. So I'm gonna have on the inside here, I'm gonna have castle walls that are probably 20 bricks high, and then the actual walls that I'm placing in will go on top of that. So they're gonna be extremely high, and the towers will be even taller because the towers extend above that, right?
Of course.
So I'm actually ready to. I'm gonna run out of gray brick, and that scares me. So
what are you gonna do?
Where's the ice rink gonna be?
Where's the ice rink going to be?
Are you gonna put this around your pool next spring?
Ow, sorry about that. I don't intend to put it in my pool or near my pool. That one goes back down. You don't.
It could be like an inverted moat. You have the pond, and then you have the castle around it.
Here, I'll put me down here now.
Now, Jeff, this is not your first castle, I assume.
This is 5 or 6. I lost track.
Okay, so you are a castle veteran. I mean, quite literally.
Yeah, I've built many castles for sure. This is the first one that I built in a while that I'm actually like super enjoying. The last one I built was kind of meh.
So what makes this one less meh?
Because this one's completely out of my head. The last one I built was based on a guy on Flickr who had built it in very micro scale, like digitally in micro scale. And I wanted to recreate it. And I did. I recreated 3/4 of it because it was large. And then when I went to go put the figures in and get all that stuff done, I kind of ran out of ideas. Like I didn't have a story behind it. So
Gotcha.
For some reason with this one, because it's in my head and I've come up with an idea, and assuming I have enough brick, I'm gonna be quite. I'm eager to get this to the point, like to get into that second round spiral, which I'm still a ways away from. So
now, are a lot of the structures things you've used before, or is this?
Yeah, I mean, most of the buildings I've had. I'm actually like I'm some of them I'm just modifying because some of them were like 8 or 10 wide, and I need some that are 6 wide, so I'm just shortening them.
Gotcha.
I'm definitely going to have to build some more.
But they're kind of cookie cutter at this point, aren't they not? I mean, they're kind of rinse and repeat.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they're all. I don't think there's anyone that is exactly the same right now.
Well,
'Cause
but I
I'm
mean,
using
they have like a general
a
consistency.
general look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, like the facade change. Like if you drive through my neighborhood, there's like 4 houses, but the facade changes.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not subdivision in the castle at least yet.
Okay.
But it could be. By the time I get to the top, it'll be like, okay, here's a shack, here's a shanty.
Yeah.
Depends how much brick I have left, really.
Now, Stever had a question about as far as like using Technic instead of using basic brick. I don't know about Castle, but Chris, do you use some Technic for your structure for spaceships, don't you?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
For making floors, the Technic sandwich, where you run a layer of Technic bricks and then cover it with plates on both sides, and that makes a good sturdy, flooring system or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I mainly build bricks up, but there's some Technic framing and support system in there too. So I still don't know how to use it very well. So
I don't do any in Castle really, not normally, but. Yeah.
That's a good question that I'll have to ask one of the Ericsons next time I chat with them and see if they use Technic in their castles. I'm going to guess not. I'm going to guess it's just easier to use straight brick because if you've got access to enough straight brick, you just rock it out, and you go with it.
Yeah.
And I know, Chris, I know you use Duplo in foundations for things.
Yeah, to make the crater to make it high enough, Duplo is just an easy solution to basically build a structure a little bit like he's building there with the basic bricks, but build it with Duplo, and it makes a big space fill really fast and everything. It's been since there's no everything is built in all the weight is going compressed and not worrying about anything side to side. Then Duplo is fine. If you ever see that famous picture where the kid knocked over the dude's Zootopia figure and everybody's all mad about it, the kid should have laid his hands off. But if you look at that figure, the very thin part of the legs is Duplo covered with some brick, and a stiff breeze would have blown that thing over and it would have broken. So
because it's not dense enough.
No, well, the clutch is not very good between Duplo on purpose.
Now, I also know you use door frames for structural pieces.
I have not yet, although I've been gathering them. I got that from the guy. His name's OC that comes from North Carolina and comes to Brickford. He builds giant mountain and really cool things. And he used a framework where he used window frames because he could get them cheap. Didn't even worry about the glass, and it made a big, lightweight, tall structure and everything. That was really cool. I had considered that for the crater that I built, but then I went with Duplo. So
I wonder how much weight those frames could hold, though, because they seem a lot more weak than this type of structure. For sure, they'd definitely be weaker.
Oh yeah,
but
you're not having to put a lot of weight on it. I'm sure it stacks quick.
You know that piece that it's like a 1x6x6, and it's like a door frame, but it's for one of those flip around doors they use in the Harry Potter castles, and it has these on the corners. It kind of goes in like that, like the old castle walls.
Yeah.
It seems to me that would be a good thing to use for a sort of strong framing, because you can put long bricks or maybe Technic bricks in those holes.
Talk about this?
No, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about like
Oops.
We may have one, folks. Time will tell.
That one here.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that looks at a plastic bin and the last after you scratch around forever, you're like the last looking and lifting it up.
You remember there was a piece that came in I think there was some Harry Potter castles back in the early 2000s that had like a thin panel that would flip around like a little revolving door.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And the frame for that, if you know what I'm talking about, I think would work well if you were able to get those in bulk.
Yeah, that would be cool. Those are of all the little gimmicky things from back in the day in castles. Those little flip doors are really cool. because I mean it was useful and everything. But there was one that was like a stained glass window that they use in a castle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was really, really neat.
The knight.
Yeah, with a knight on it. That's right. That's right.
I think that knight even had a shield that was a throwback to like one of the original Lego castle shields, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, was it? Cool.
It might have been.
Might have been. All right, Matt, tell us about your Lego adventure today. Where did you go and why did you go?
So I have a Bricklink store, and my Bricklink store profits pay for a significant chunk of my personal Lego. So it's something that I do. My work schedule allows me to run to the post office in the midst of doing stuff and running errands. And so most of today was taking advantage of double points and acquiring sets that I think will sell for a markup, if not tomorrow, in 5 years. So I went and bought some big sets, only one of which was for me. So I got the Republic gunship, which will proudly sit on my shelf when Mark comes over. He can admire how great it looks filling up that space on the wall in my Star Wars room. But I'm just kidding. With all the other Star Wars shelf sitters, UCS shelf sitters that I have. And then I got some stuff that I think will resell well down the road. And a couple things were at the store, like I got the Cantina and I got another Diagonal Alley and things that I think will have long-term markup value. But I also bought a couple things off the website that were not available in stores. And one of those things was the Chinese New Year lantern garden, which looks fantastic next to my Ninjago City. And so Ninjago City sets, the big set, has really gone up in value. So the first one and the second one now sells for like $800, and it was a $270 set. It's crazy. And if you've got the Ninjago garden, it plugs in and looks fantastic right next to the other ones. And so I think in the long run, it's going to be something that Ninjago collectors want. And so I ordered 2 off the website, and I'm like, I'm going to try selling for $200. And I think if I'm patient, I think I'll get $200 for them, which will then pay for Matt's Lego purchases in 2025, whatever year it sells. But that's just my strategy. And if I'm going to buy some stuff for long-term buy and hold, I might as well get lots of get double VIP points, and the price point's high enough that I can't use the A full discount, which is later this month. And so there's a couple A full discount things I might try to get later in the month. The one that I actually realized that I didn't look to see if it was on store shelves was I wanted to get the Infinity Gauntlet that has all the gold ink gold pieces in it. I was literally going to buy that for me as a parts pack, because I think it's actually a pretty nice collection of gold pieces.
Yep.
And I don't think it's at either one of our stores here. Might be buying that off the website. Get the double VIP.
Because I remember seeing it on display at Sugarloaf, but maybe they were just out of it.
It was not there today. So, and they might get a shipment in later this week or something, but I might call them and say, like, are you expecting it? Because if not, I probably should order that off the website.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
the other one I got.
Go ahead.
Well, I also got the Vader's Castle, which is still available on the website, but hasn't been in either one of our Atlanta stores in quite a while. And I think that's one that will have a long-term demand. I think it's kind of underrated. It's one of the few scenes from Rogue One, and I think Rogue One's one of the better movies. And I think in the future, people might want that particular set. And what was the other one? I got something else off the website. Now I'm spacing on what I got. But anyway, so I basically put money into my Bricklink business today and got some VIP points out of it. So,
that may be a good topic, and maybe even a good topic for Thursday. Is VIP worth it? Is it better to wait for discounts, or is it better to use VIP? Is VIP worth it? That might be a good topic.
Yeah, well, I mean, Matthew and I and a couple other guys, we've kind of been, locking this down almost to a system. To a science for sure, as far as what to try and get for certain things, maximizing your GWP, maximizing your VIP, versus AFOL points if you're a member of a lug. There's definitely I've definitely changed a lot of my buying habits by going with that. There are some day one things that I always hope that there's going to be GWP to make it worth my while for a day one. But then there's the risk of waiting for clearance, for certain sets that you want. That's a gamble. Especially now since COVID, there's so much clearance that's not happening that we were used to happening. And so, and because there are more people out there stalking for clearance, that you're having to run the gambit or the gauntlet, to try and find clearance sets, which is hard. And then just weird parts. Weird parts is another thing. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is, and I thought about getting them for VIP points, but they're under $100 sets, so I might as well just wait for AFOL day to get the 15% instead of the $10 or 10% for VIP points. And Matthew, you're going to laugh at me. There are 2 sets that I'm going to pick up specifically for hair and accessories.
Oh, I'm not laughing at all.
because on Bricks and Pieces, they either don't have those pieces available, or they haven't been in stock since forever ago. So I'm going to actually have to buy a couple sets because I want these pieces from us.
The new Queer Eye has unique hair pieces that are not available on Bricks Pieces, and there's some great hair and face pieces in that Queer Eye set. And I bought one. I don't know if I'll keep it. I don't know if I'll part it out. We'll have to wait and see. But I wanted to make sure I had one just in case they start to sell out.
And some of the, I'm sorry, Jeff, we were going to say, hey, but then you were gone. And then some of the new video sets, even though those are, they're not licensed, but the pieces aren't on hand in Bricks and Pieces, or they just don't exist in the inventory to select from. And I'm like, okay, you're going to make me buy a video set because I can't get the parts any other way. What's up, Jeff?
Jeff, how are you, Jeff?
Hey, Jeff.
I just got at a dinner with my in-laws and my brother-in-law.
You're a little light there. You can tell you're in your car.
Yep. Just got out of dinner.
Ah,
What was for dinner?
We went to this place called the. Oh God. It was a brewery.
A brewery? I approve.
The brick brewery in Oklahoma. Anyway, it was all right.
Good deal. Good deal.
Sorry about the echo. I am on my phone, so.
Oh, you're good, man.
Yeah.
All good. All good.
By the way, talking about speculating, I figured Jake has this figure from Ninjago.
That's a
He's
pretty
like-
slick figure.
He's a big fig. He's like $80 right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. There he is right there.
What set was that in?
It was some motorcycle. I can't remember his name.
Ninjago is really interesting because for me as a Lego reseller, I know that Star Wars almost always will double in value if you wait long enough. Not true in every case, but true in most cases. The other thing that's been really a strong seller that I basically would just pick it up if Target had it 50% off is Ninjago. It sells. Older sets sell. Some of them sell for a lot more than what they retailed for. And I'm not a kid. I don't watch the series, so it's not something I'm tuned into as much. I just know that, I like some of the colors in the sets, and I know that kids seem to really enjoy it. And the one set that I picked up for speculation was the Overlord Dragon, which I picked up from another YouTuber, and he had a thing on his opinion about what sets would go up in value. And he pointed out that the Overlord Dragon, which is the purple one, has some gold pieces in it, was the last dragon from the TV show to finally get made. And when I mentioned it to one of the store employees, he's like, we can't keep that on the shelf. He's like, as soon as we get in, that purple dragon sells. So I was like, I'm buying 2 of those for my Bricklink store. So we'll see if they sell in a couple of years. It's only $30 set.
Well, I know that Mark Erickson made a comment. We were out to lunch. He said that anything Ninjago you hold on to 2 years, you'll double your money. And that's pretty much, granted, now that may be Atlanta Brick Company prices in general, but I'm curious to see if Monkey Kid will follow that in any way, shape, or form. Because we now just got Monkey Kid on Amazon Prime here in the US finally. I'm just curious to see how that's going to do. I find, I mean, I know as AFOLs, we think the sets are fantastic. There's great build techniques. The colors, the parts, the pieces are fantastic. I'm just curious to see if that will infiltrate into the American kid market or not, and if it will become if they'll become softer sets.
I think the longevity of Ninjago lends to how collectible the years past are, because a new kid, I mean, because a kid can jump into Ninjago, he's got it. There's 4 ninjas plus their girlfriend and the green ninja. I mean, you got the whole thing and the wise. So you can jump in at any point. You get all that, and then you're like, oh, I want the other seasons, and you start backtracking through all that.
Right.
Adult collectors can even do that too, because they want to collect. I mean, had the movie been good, no telling what Ninjago really would have done. And from what I understand, they screwed around and made the movie bad, or it had a good premise. It's actually going to be the neighbor of the kid from the Lego movie who was having problems with a bully or whatever, and it was going to tie those universes together. And then they threw Jackie Chan in and blew that up. But yeah, the Ninjago stuff is, if you think about it, you're like, oh, I can get these 4 guys in this suit. Oh, I can get the other suits. I can get those 4 guys and all that kind of stuff. So there's a collectability, and they've done a good job of putting high-level sets out like the Ninjago Gardens and stuff to pull those adult fans in. They go, hey, these are cool, and then go backtracking through it. So it makes those old sets really worth it. And there's a new suit per season or whatever, so they know what they're doing.
So what you're saying is that Ninjago is the Power Rangers of Lego.
Yeah. Cash cow for sure.
Yeah.
The one thing
also,
that I found,
we were having
we are having technical difficulties.
We were discussing generational differences. It strikes me that I may not be super into Ninjago, although I have the whole Ninjago city sitting right here in my room. But it's pretty clear that maybe the kids that grew up with the set are going to keep buying it as they become buyers in their 20s and 30s. So just as we were talking about how when we had on Thursday, a different generation and what they're nostalgic for, they may be nostalgic for Ninjago. I mean, that could be the set that never really goes away. Yeah, maybe they'll bring back some of these things that were in the early TV series, and they'll redo some of the storylines and the characters and whatnot. So
I think it's definitely a prime theme. Well, I mean, that's why they evergreened it. To make it, it's never going to go away, because it is now a staple in their community, because that longevity is already shown to work. And I guarantee you, we will start to see some really weird, I mean, not that the Ninjago City and non-Ninjago docks aren't already pricey. I bet you in another 10 years, we'll see some really pricey Ninjago sets that are, that throw back to this time frame easily.
Yeah. The one thing I was going to say is that Ninjago sets are, the Ninjago TV show, seasons 1 to 9, I think you could get DVDs for, or you could get digital copies for, but I've yet to see anything higher than that be released, and they're on like season 15. Now, I haven't checked in about a year, but my daughter, we use Google Play, and they only had seasons 1 through 9 there. They've never had anything higher. So I don't know what's going on. Like, I know they changed production studios around that time, and I don't know if it's just like that's the reason why they haven't had the new shows on, or the new episodes.
Or is it exclusive on a specific streaming service? Because that could be it too.
Anywhere. So,
well, I'll also say this: so the series is 10 years old. So Jake was 6 when it came out, right? He was totally into the cartoon until 3, 4, 5, probably 4 years ago. And now he doesn't care. He's just like, oh, they're underwater. That's cool. I want that one. And he'll, kind of pick and choose the sets he wants. But it's like space to him. It's keeping on going.
Yeah.
But unlike space, the storyline is very consistent. And so he's, still into it. He still cares. Is Zane going to be a robot this time, or something different? So they've done a good job keeping that storyline, probably a lot better than they did with Bionicle. They didn't try to go too deep, too fast, and then not know where to go maybe with that. But yeah, I think Ninjago will be around for years. And I'm the one who, when Ninjago came out, said, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. This won't last. That was not smart of me. But yeah, but Jake loves it. He doesn't care about the cartoon anymore, but now he's 16. in 20, and in 4 more years, when he's 20, he return to it? Probably so, quite fondly, with quite fond memories. So, you know.
Yep. If it fits, I mean, it fits the mold. It fits the you know, the formula, as it were. You know, for nostalgia things, it's totally going to be in that radar for people in that age range. So the question is now, will Chima have that same effect on some group of children?
Yeah, no.
Well, Chima was around for what, 3 years or so?
Yeah.
It barely bumped to its 3rd year. That was not before they built a whole like wing of a park in Florida, and they're like, can we repaint that with Lego Movie? Yes.
Color it, whatever.
So I have a question about the Lego deal. Is it double VIP points now? Is that the situation?
Yeah.
For this week, yes.
And so I'm on Lego Shop at Home, and I clicked on Santa's sleigh, which is temporarily out of stock, but there's a thing that says 2x VIP points. And I'm assuming I can't order it now and get the VIP points later because it's not in stock. But when I click on other items, they don't have a thing saying that about the VIP points. Is this a thing, no matter what you buy, you get double VIP points?
Yep.
Yes, it's site-wide. Now, I will tell you that in the past, if you pre-order, so for example, I pre-ordered the Razor Crest, I got double points even though it didn't ship for 3 more months.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true for back orders, but it is true for pre-orders. So if you plop down your money in the pre-order window, you still get the double VIP. You'd probably have to call a customer service rep to find out if that's true for back orders. I just don't know.
It'd be worth a phone call, though.
Yeah, I can't quite tell if this is. It just says temporarily out of stock. I can't tell if I can actually order it now and it'll show up when it shows up, or if I'm.
If anything's out of stock, you can't actually physically order it right away, unless it's back ordered. If it's back ordered, I think you can still place an order.
Yeah. Okay. It was just interesting to me that it said they advertised the 2-time VIP points on the item. You can't actually get that. Get on it.
The other thing that happens is that there are monthly double VIP sets, and I don't know if that was the monthly set. Maybe that's why it has a like a special logo. If you click on the deals, the sales and deals icon,
I'm going to guess that it's not, and it might just be an advertising thing, because typically the sets that are the monthly VIP, double VIP points, are sets that have been sitting around for a while that they're trying to create incentive for.
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Buy this because people are not.
Yes.
Yes. That's how you can tell what's not moving, is when all of a sudden, oh, it's, the video is double, triple, quadruple points. And no, they're not.
Well, I'll point to a series that I loved and is not selling, and that is the Chris McVeigh flat design BB-8
portraits.
Stormtrooper. I love the cartoon portraits, and it's so sad to me that that's probably all we're ever going to get, because it's great, and I have them set up on my Star Wars shelves in between my spaceships, and I'm probably going to go look at his webpage where he shows the other ones he made before he got hired by Lego and try to retro figure out how he made them, because I think they're a lot of fun.
And that's the thing. The sketches. I think that's the unfortunate thing with that, is that Lego said, all right, we're going to do this, but we're only going to do just a couple of Star Wars and a couple of DC, and then crickets.
Well, and also they're like, oh, we made these, but have you seen the mosaics and the stuff? So that went the picture frame market right there. So,
but at the same time, though, we got like, it took a little while for the brickheads to percolate, and then they're whether it was the pop market or whatever, that people were just gaga over them and they started doing. I think that those sketches could have done the same thing, but they didn't commit to it. They just kind of threw it out and said, we're gonna see if people like this or not, and we're just not getting enough response, so we're gonna stop.
I think it was unfortunate that was up against brickheads, because it seems to me they're quite similar.
Definitely competition for each other, for the buying market.
If I remember correctly, they did a designer interview with Chris McVeigh, and he said that Lego had this like company internal memo that went out that was like, hey, it's like pitch day. Come in and pitch something that you've built. And he had like 30 of these he's already made before he was an employee. So he walked in and pitched it. And maybe that's why they only ran 6, whatever it was, 6 of them. It was like, hey, we're going to try this. An employee's already dreamed this up. If they sell, we'll make a whole bunch more. And if they don't sell, we won't. I mean, one of the employees said to me, it's a great set. We just priced it too high to start with, for one thing.
That was what I was going to say. That's a $15 if you hold it in your hand, not 20. And, So.
In actuality, if they'd priced it down closer to 10, would have been even better. Then they would have flown off the shelves.
I think so too.
So,
all right.
Hey, I don't know what the piece count is and whether licensing and all this, but I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, we're just a little over an hour, and we've had great viewership today. Thank y'all for joining us in the chats. Let me point y'all to Brick Blaze's channel. He's just started his live stream, so hop over there from here and tell him we said hello. So Brick Blaze is on YouTube right now with his Lego show. So hop on over there and raid him out of our show. Thank y'all for being here. Join us this Thursday for Thursday Night Live and hang out with us. Thanks for being with us. Be awesome, build awesome, love your neighbor, and for crying out loud, do whatever you can to end the stupid virus. Have a great night. Yeah, goodbye.
Hey, everybody.
Goodbye. I can't do both hands and hit the button. Here we go.